welcome to another wonderful afternoon, albeit a more windy one than what we had this morning. Feels like the wind is howling up here in quarantine, so we're going to move off away from this area, find areas where hopefully the wind won't blow away my cap. My name is Ali, Hurt is on camera with me today, and we are in search of elephants, I would say, today, or pretty much anything else we can see. Now, we had a very interesting sighting this morning with Thandi and Tingana, and I spoke to Dylan, which is Brent's brother, and he's working at Chitwa. And I just wanted to find out how Thandi was acting with Tingana around before we arrived and before she got all upset with Kuchava and chased her away and all of that chaos happened. So apparently they found Thandi first this morning, and then Tingana came onto the sighting, and then he sort of apparently growled at Thandi for a little bit, and then until they realized that actually Tingana ran past Thandi to go for the warthog that he's got, and he's made a kill. However, the interesting thing that they were mentioning this morning was that apparently Thandi was quite flirty with Tingana, so it could be that she is going into heat. I know I would trust Dylan if he says that Thandi was looking in that typical leopardish way where she's coming up close and she's hanging close to Tingana and just trying to incite him and get him to mate, and you know, maybe she's not come onto her full cycle and she's not quite ready to mate yet, but apparently all the signs are there for her to start wanting to mate, which is quite interesting. I think that was the biggest question that we had today when we were at that sighting. Why are they two together? Is it because Thandi wants to be swept off her feet by Tingana? Is it because it just sort of happened to be? Are they being stubborn? So I think the next few days are going to play out and we're going to find out exactly what's happening. But it seems like everything's pointing toward Thandi getting ready to start mating and potentially have her next litter of cubs, which could be an interesting time for little Tamba. I think we all think of him still as a cub, and even if Thandi does get pregnant, he will still have her company for the next 3.5, 4 months or so. So interesting. Perhaps he is a bit older than what we think. But it's crazy. I feel like Tamba is still a bit too young for Thandi to be gallivanting around with Tingana. So that's why I say maybe let's wait for a few days and see what happens. Sometimes, and I've seen lions do it in the past as well, I've seen the females pretend that they want to mate just to try and drag away the males from their cubs. So it could also be another strategy that Thandi is employing. But interesting times ahead. I think we're going to have to find her again this afternoon, and hopefully Taylor will have a bit of a better look and we'll be able to start resolving this mystery and seeing what it is that these cats are all up and about. Alright, I'm not too sure where to go from here. I would like to see elephants today, so I think maybe a drainage line would be the best way to go, just because it's a bit too windy all around us. I think the Molowati is going to be the place to be, especially because also if maybe Tamba's still around, hopefully he'll be there. But I have a feeling he's on Chitwa at the moment, so who knows. Interesting times ahead for all the lions and the leopards that we've got in this area. Right, big grey rocks, we're after you this afternoon. Reveal yourselves. Okay, maybe not quite yet. Hopefully we'll see some trace of that big herd of elephants that we had at some point this morning. I would really like to see them, and especially that little charging one. He was very cute. I think quite brave, and then typically he just booked himself. I'm going to say goodbye to all of you for the time being while we start the show, and we're going to see you guys in a little bit.